Hello and welcome to another Star Citizen podcast. I'm here, I'm BoredGamer. It's the 29th of April. We're going to be talking about new ship prices in-game, Alpha 3.23 stuff, a couple of other interesting things. BlizzCon's cancelled, I believe, this year, and I want to talk about CitizenCon and how that sort of compares to why is BlizzCon cancelled, but CitizenCon seems to be running every year. There's a bit of a escape from Tarkov mega drama with very expensive DLC, but I want to compare that to Star Citizen stuff. And I have now chosen my face, and although there is a winner, there's kind of two. We'll talk about that in a second. I'm joined by the lovely Zinnia, who is persistent, consistent, and my assistant.
Oh, God.
What? I thought I'd change up the sort of jokes we do, Zin. Say hello, my assistant, Zinnia.
Hello, my assistant, Zinnia.
Perfect. Nice and easy. Bam. Yes, we're going to be talking about a few things today. How are you, Zin? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. I'm okay. I've got lots of pip in my step today. I'm pretty excited. My house move is hopefully going to be the end of May. I'm going to brand it the Bachelor House for gaming and for me to walk around in my underpants. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. Be inviting people over all the time when I am actually wearing trousers or more likely pajamas. Yeah, it's gonna be good. So I want to start by talking about the new ship prices in 3.23. Have you seen these at all, Zin?
I have not experienced them yet.
Okay, so yeah, there's a big set of economy changes in Alpha 3.23, and this is like for FPS gear, mission rewards, and ship and vehicle prices. So ships and vehicles are significantly more expensive now, like a lot up. When I say they're up a lot, what do you think, what sort of range do you think they've gone up by? Sort of a percentage or a times by?
I don't know.
Yeah, not knowing's fine.
I don't know what they're aiming for, so...
Neither do I. So they've basically upped inflation a lot, and I would have thought they would have tried to make UEC more valuable. They've made it, what I see as less valuable, but it doesn't really matter what the value of it is, I suppose. It's as long as the economy is consistent and dynamic eventually. So these are sort of static updates to the economy. So most ships have gone up 1.5 to 3 times in value.
Okay.
So that means...
3 times?
Okay, yeah. So you go 3 times, that's a lot, right? The Vanguard series of ships, they used to be about 3 million. They're now 10 million each.
Fucking hell.
Around that. Okay, so yeah, it's expensive. So what do you think about that? Obviously, you're saying expletives, which that means Zin does not like, or maybe likes a lot. It's hard to tell.
There must be reason for it.
Well, so people were able to grind ships pretty quickly in a lot of situations. And it's not all ships going up a huge amount or anything, but some have gone up a ridiculous amount, and others have stayed relatively low. So you got like starter ships, like the Mustang Alpha. That hasn't gone up that much. I suppose it has. It's gone up from 400,000 to about 600,000.
Okay.
But that sort of range of money making is pretty easy to get. And so, yeah, starships, yeah, the spaceship should be relatively valuable, should be relatively expensive, and... You've got some ships, though, that have gone up a lot more than that. So the Hercules A2 used to be 5.5 million. Yeah?
Yeah.
It's a military ship. It's a ship that can really ruin your day at Jump Town if someone drops one of its large ordnance. How much do you think that is now? Just as a sort of rough guess, do you think it's gone up a huge amount? What do you think? What do you think I mean?
I don't know. Talk 5.5 million.
Yeah, that's what it was at.
What, like 10 million?
Okay, how about I tell you, 44 million.
Oh.
It's gone up 8 times, sort of. It's ridiculous. See, exactly. It's sort of like you wouldn't even consider that. But they sort of have redefined some of these for like, well, actually, it's a proper military ship and it's got a very unique role and we want them to be rare. So they've put them up quite a lot. I mean, all of the Hercules series have gone up a lot of money, but that is a ridiculous increase. Hammerhead up from 12.5 million to now 48 million. Obviously, a big increase, but not as much as the times amount of the A2. And Hammerhead is a military ship. It's a pure combat ship, and yeah, that sort of makes sense. Some of these ships that are corvettes or that are big, you make them expensive. And sort of things that have doubled in price It feels like a lot, but maybe it's not. Reclaimer, gone up from 15 million to 32 million, things like that. I liked the fact that... So, yeah, some of them are ridiculous. Now, the most expensive ship, I believe, in-game is the 890 Jump. I think the 890 Jump was about 32 million before, okay? So, it's gone up to 65 million. It's not hundreds of millions, admittedly. It's still... That's hard to grind. That's hard to grind. Yeah, I just thought it was interesting. So, the Buccaneers... They're about the same price. They've gone up like a couple of 100,000. If you want a ship that's still relatively cheap, Drake ships. So the Cutlass Black's gone up about 15% to 2.1 mil, and Caterpillar's super expensive now, 12.5 million up from 4.6. So yeah, I just thought it was an interesting thing. Ground vehicles, they've gone up by about 3 times their original cost. They're trying to make ground vehicles actually a better value proposition to buy with real money, I suppose, as well with that.
The thing is, until Star Citizen releases, there's no point buying ships in game at all now, because they'll just get wiped.
Yes, but...
Or are they going to start trying to keep them?
So they try and keep them from patch to patch, right?
Yeah.
At the moment, so wipes are they have the small level wipes, which is sort of like your consumables, but they try to keep your ships. But there will still be times where they do full wipes, which will wipe your ships. We don't know if we're getting a full wipe for 3.23. A lot of people said it's probable, but I don't know. I say it's 50-50 at the moment. But you're right. So there's a lot of stuff going on there, right? So you might as well spend your money. If you're playing Star Citizen and you're enjoying it now, you might as well spend your money on ships. Yeah?
Yeah.
But there's no real point in grinding up for the long term for a ship, because you might as well wait until the game goes live. But some people are going to enjoy doing that now, for sure. Like, especially since it's been like 11 years or so for Star Citizen. It's taking a while for it to actually be at a stage where there are no more wipes or anything like that. So what do you think of those price increases? Do you think that that's fine as long as the economy moves around to accommodate that? Or are you concerned that they're just trying to make ships, people want to buy ships with real money over grinding for them?
I think probably, now that you've mentioned that other, I think a little bit of A, a little bit of B. Otherwise I was going to be like, as long as the economy is there to help people purchase these ships, then that's kind of okay. But also, I guess it is them trying to get people to go, actually, I'll just spend some money and get a ship.
Yeah, I mean, it probably is, as you said, a little bit of A, a little bit of B. It is a... Star Citizen want to market the selling of ships in a way that helps support the game. I hope it doesn't become too predatory and too pay to win. And we'll get a bit more into that a little bit later. Star Citizen would not exist in its form that it is now and where it's going to without the way that it has its monetization model.
Yeah.
So it is a double-edged sword. It's not always the best thing. And for 3.23 stuff, I think it's in wave 3 now, the PTU. And we're waiting for it to go to... I think they're personally going to go straight to open PTU later today. And I think as well that they're probably going for a live build by Thursday, 2nd of May. What do you think of that, Sin? Do you think that's possible? You didn't say it in a way like, nah.
I mean, it's possible, but I mean, they didn't get their April release like they wanted, have they?
Well, I mean, it's not the end of April yet.
No, tomorrow is.
But I mean, what's a couple of days, right? What's a couple of days in the Star Citizen multi-year development? I think it's sensible for them to release it by the 2nd of May, just because it's a Thursday. They can get a hotfix patch out if they want. They need to get a load of other content going on, like Fleet Week's really soon. They want to get Xenothreat out a few days after 3.23 goes live. I suspect they probably won't want to run Xenothreat and Fleet Week at the same time. Maybe they will, but I doubt they will want to. So that's currently my guesstimate. And Zin hasn't shot me down, which is that's a good sign. They were testing Xenothreat over the weekend. I didn't actually play this time around. I know there are some issues they're trying to iron out still. That's going to be true of any time they run Xenothreat up until actual live release of 1.0 of Star Citizen. I think the key bindings have settled somewhat as well now, because there's so many key changes that have been going on over the last few months, or few weeks, I suppose. What do you think of the constant key changes? I know I ask you this occasionally, but I forget what you say.
So they want to have parity between Squadron 42 and the Persistent Universe.
Yes, for the most part, yes.
Yeah, which is fair enough. However, I'm used to certain keybinds, and it will probably at some point get to the point where if they change something so much, I'll just go, well, I'm gonna just change that back.
Yeah, I'm at that stage now as well. So when I go from build to build, from OpenPTU to live build, I get confused because I've got my keys customized in a particular way, and keys have changed, and there's more keybinds that I also now use, and they sort of get merged together, and my brain gets confused. Yeah, it's an annoying and interesting one. The thing is, as well, with the parity of key bindings, the persistent universe has more keys.
Yes.
Yeah, there are more things to do, more things you need to do, and there's going to be more things that occur a lot more regularly and that are commonplace, like ATC landings. Lots of stuff like that. You're like, well, this is essential that I do this in the persistent universe, but might not be so essential in Squadron 42. I just hope there is room on the keyboard in all of the right places to make parity with Squadron 42 work, and also have the persistent universe have those extra keys on there, without me having to have 27 modifier keys. Left Alt, left control, and right control, S to land. Or something dumb like that. So I mean, obviously that's a huge exaggeration, but it does feel like that sometimes. And I hate it when they've moved a key off one thing to another. Like, it was, at the moment, they've got operator modes and master modes. And when you're in nav mode, you switch into your quantum mode now, and then left click to quantum travel. And it's just like, oh, what? This is so different. Or at least it's not what I expect. But hopefully that stuff's settled. Hopefully we'll have live by Thursday. Something I wanted to talk to you about, Zin. I believe BlizzCon is cancelled this year.
Yes, I heard about that.
I think it's only sort of like, it's like the third time they've been cancelled, other than throughout COVID, where everything was cancelled. So the reasons that sort of BlizzCon gets cancelled is because they want to work on their games, or it doesn't make them enough money, or they don't think it's like sensible or viable to do because they've not got as much to share. Yeah?
Yeah.
And potentially it takes away from the development of other projects and stuff like that. Now, with that in mind, do you think that CIG are going to be able to, and should have been running, CitizenCons every year? And does CitizenCon take away from development?
I mean, maybe, but the people who generally have to do most of the work for CitizenCon aren't the devs.
Yeah.
And I can't see them having to do much more work than they already do for Inside Star Citizen.
Yeah. I see what you mean. Obviously, there's a reasonable amount of dev time taken up by the presentations, but I suppose it's not a huge amount of man hours. And I suppose a lot of that stuff is then part of their normal work, right? They might be going, well, we need to make a demo, or we need to make this presentation, or we need to get the ship into a good state. Well, they're working on that, and that aids development. I have concerns that some development time is taken away from Star Citizen because of CitizenCon, but I also think that it shifts gears, and it focuses the community, it focuses the devs, it gets them trying to hit deadlines with certain stuff, because they want to then go, well, let's show off this cool tech, this cool thing, and that energizes the community. They do hit milestones, and the advertising potential for the game is just fantastic. But I can't see why, surely that's more so for BlizzCon. I don't understand why they've cancelled BlizzCon, is what I'm trying to say.
I don't think it makes them enough money, and that's their main goal. Yeah,
I suppose it does make Star Citizen enough money because they are increasing their share of the market.
Their renown. So I think it benefits CIG to have CitizenCons because it drums up interests, makes people like get a bit more hype. Blizzard, they've gone past that point, you know, as a company, and they don't need people to be like, oh yeah, this is actually a thing, and blah 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 blah.
Maybe it has hit saturation with Blizzard with a lot of their games, because okay, and I don't mean it in a sort of super negative way. CitizenCon and the sort of stuff and marketing for Star Citizen does cater for whaling more. They are trying to increase the amount of money or the amount of marketing for their game, and CitizenCon attracts people that are Star Citizen superfans that have the capital, that have the money spare to go and attend, but also if they see the game is healthy and they're hyped about something, they are likely to spend a lot more money. And I think that with Blizzard, you'll get that, but it's more microtransaction-y for some of their stuff. and Star Citizen is much more macro transactiony. Not that you need to buy anything in Star Citizen at all beyond a starter pack. And I will keep on saying that to people.
Yeah.
I don't feel that Star Citizen is pay to win, really.
Even with these ship price increases.
Yeah, but it does move towards more like that. So that's an interesting one. Because of the ship price increases, it is something that is slightly more of a concern to me. Because could CIG turn to the dark side and go full monetization? It's happened to lots of other companies before. It's happened to things with Eve and Elite Dangerous and stuff. Even like that, there's lots of signs there that make me go, ooh. And Star Citizen does have FOMO, artificial scarcity, and there's a big push from marketing of ship sales. Basically, people will go, well, yeah, Star Citizen's pay to win. Of course it is, because you can buy ships and stuff. I don't consider that pay to win. Pay to win, to me, is not just any advantage with money. It's if you have a unreachable advantage or there's something that's entirely locked by money, that's pay to win. Do you think that's fair, Zin? Or do you think people should be more concerned, less concerned?
I think people should always be concerned.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people should make their voices heard and vote with their wallets, as it were, when things go the wrong way.
Yeah, be concise, be civil, be reasonable, and voice your concerns. Don't accuse, unless you genuinely feel that way. And like with CIG and the ship prices, I think it's worth mentioning. Yeah, it is a red flag towards potential pay to win, or a push towards trying to get people to buy ships and vehicles because it's harder to get them. That might not be the case after they've tweaked more of the economy stuff, and we have dynamic economy and stuff like that's going to change anyway. And I'm not begrudging CIG from doing their monetization model. As I said, Star Citizen sort of needs it to be the game it wants to be and to be in the scope and everything that it wants. But it is, as Zin said, a concern. Nothing wrong with being concerned, nothing wrong with being vigilant, nothing wrong with making your voice heard or talking about something, as long as you're not, being aggressive or thinking that your point of view is the only point of view. Oh my God. I think I represented the internet with my points. So something that's a bit connected to it was this Escape from Tarkov mega drama. There was the Edge of Darkness edition of Escape from Tarkov, Zin.
Okay.
And that basically said, you buy this $100, I think it was $100 version of the game. Yeah, I know. And you get all of the future DLCs. And they've now released a $250 expansion / DLC.
What?
Which has this PvE mode in it and has some stuff that basically makes you more powerful and it sort of increases your backpack size for loot and stuff like that. It gives you actual in-game advantages for getting it. And they basically went, oh, it's not technically a DLC. It's sort of like it's a whole mega expansion or whatever. It's an expansion, not a DLC or whatever. And then they went, oh, well, we'll only charge the Edge of Darkness customers $150 for it.
Okay.
Which is difference between the editions. And I was thinking, so that to me is awful. That's just a terrible thing. I mean, and you don't have to agree with me. You might love Escape from Tarkov. You might think that all the stuff in there is actually justifies the cost or whatever. And cool. I don't know enough about it, but at a glance, it looks awful. The optics are bad. If there's a huge amount of expansion content or that, is it then justified? If it's like, well, actually, there's a huge amount of stuff there. You don't need to buy it. You can, and there's a ridiculous amount of content there. It justifies the cost. Even if it justifies the cost, does it justify the pay to win? I don't think so. What's your sort of thought on that?
I mean, if you can look at that and square that circle, then go for it, But I can imagine there's a lot of people looking at and going, I'm not paying that much. Like, if I could pick and choose a few bits, then I'd probably pay. And maybe you can, I don't know. I've not given Escape from Tarkov that much of my attention at all recently. Oh.
I just get frustrated by super expensive things. It's when a game is like $100, you're like, oof, and you don't get everything still.
Like, there's a lot of things that I just look at and I'll be like, that. If somebody has that, I'm like, they've got more money than sense. Well,
talking about more money than sense.
Yeah.
I do not begrudge anyone spending as much money as they want to. As long as if you've got the money, you've got the disposable income, support Star Citizen, by all means. You've got tons of money, you buy tens of thousands worth of dollars of ships. I would, if I was a millionaire, since questioned me about this before. I think DC has as well. If I had all the money in the world, I would buy a lot of spaceships, but not tons and tons and tons. I still wouldn't buy the Giga Super Packs.
You fucking would. You fucking would. You know you would.
I might. I don't know. I'm so thrifty. So I'm not going to begrudge anyone for doing that. In fact, I encourage you to spend the money as you want, as basically as long as you have it. But all you need is a starter pack, and then you can get everything in-game. And hopefully you should be enjoying Star Citizen. Otherwise, what's the point in spending money anyway on it? Now, people will accuse Star Citizen of being pay to win. And as I said, something to be aware of, be concerned about. And $250 price tag of that edition of Escape from Tarkov, that's not even that an expensive ship in Star Citizen, right?
Yeah.
So it's just such a weird thing that if they released a new sort of Corvette, $250, I'd be like, bargain. But I see Escape from Tarkov and I go, disgusting. It's such a weird thing. There's obviously a bit of cognitive dissonance going on in my brain.
It's how you view things, though, isn't it? Like it's weird. I'm trying to do an online shop, and I'll be looking at stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's really expensive. That's really expensive. But if I go to a restaurant and that price is on something that I could buy, I'm like, oh, that's really cheap.
I know. There's sort of weird value propositions going on in your mind. But not a fan of FOMO, artificial scarcity, and predatory marketing. And Star Citizen does do a bit of that sometimes. Their marketing department is trying to make money. My face, Sin! My face!
Yes, your face.
My face. Basically, we're looking at who made a good avatar of me and put up some shortlist of people and basically said, choose between these, basically saying that 5 or 6 is going to win, and my face winner is number 6. That got the most votes. But, and I will send you a little prize. I'll send you a prize. I'll message you. You can have a ship or a Bano cube or something like that. I will message you. Also, Sharkbite's entry, who had sent me the entry personally, but we took everything from the Discord.
I took everything from the Discord.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have sent you his entry separately.
You're bad.
And Zin and I looked at it and went, well, actually, that's pretty good.
He's got the lips and everything.
So I will probably be using that one as my character.
It's really good.
Have you had a look on the star-citizen-characters.com?
No. Well, I have, but I don't think it's that great, personally.
So there are some good ones, though.
So the way I rate it is, obviously, if they're making original characters, then that's fair enough. But if they're trying to recreate people, if I can't tell who it is at a glance, then it's rubbish.
Yeah. So I think there are some dumb ones that I quite like. Like, there's some good Jareds. Some people have made some good Disco Landos. There's a Salty Mike, which I would at a glance recognise. There's Ruby Rod and stuff from Fifth Element, which is, I can tell. But yeah, some of them, I really love the character customizer. There are some low effort or people doing it badly as well there. I think it's good. There's a young Keanu Reeves there. I like that as a repository, as a place to be able to put characters up and be able to download them and use them. One day I'll do a BoredGamer event and everyone has to be me. It'll be beautiful. So yeah, I like that sort of stuff. And that is probably the avatar I'm going to use from Sharkbite. So thank you very much for that. I genuinely appreciate it. I will send a prize to number 6 entry and to yourself. But I'm interested if people have made amazing creations for the characters. Feel free to link and talk about it on the Discord. I like dumb stuff like that. Zin, would you ever make yourself in a game, or you'd be like, no, I want to make a really cool looking character. I'm playing a computer game. Why would I want to be myself?
Yeah, that one. Why?
Yeah?
Why would I want to be myself? That's why I play computer games, so I can get away from being myself.
I typically make myself an attractive bald man. But now I'm just going to be me, which is heartbreaking, I suppose. But yeah, I know some of you think I'm handsome, and that's because you're wrong. But thank you very much. Thank you very much for all those entries. We'll do some other silly competitions like that in the future. I am really interested to know what you think about the new in-game prices for ships. And what do you think of the larger economy changes as well? I mean, that's going to be harder to talk about because then none of this is really set in stone. 3.23 is not live yet. It's only temporary until we have dynamic economy anyway. But I'm sort of interested in your thoughts of where you'd like the economy to go. Do you think we're going to have 3.23 by Thursday? And have you been playing in the PT of that? Are you enjoying that? Do you think CIG can justify doing a CitizenCon each year, even when things like Blizzcon are cancelled? Do you think it's great for them? I love CitizenCon. I think it's some of the best content for my channel each year, and I absolutely love the hype it generates. It's good fun. And do you think there's predatory stuff going on with the costs of ships, or do you hate the stuff that they were doing with that super expensive edition of Escape from Tarkov? And do you like my face? Go my face. Anyway, say goodbye, Zinnia.
Goodbye, Zinnia.
Thanks for watching, and we'd love to see your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
You want to see the wonders of the internet and protect yourself online? Come to Jurassic Park with the link nordvpn.com/BoredGamer, or click the ones below. They do move in herds. Nord was so preoccupied whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should. Not only do you get big savings with that link, but also top-tier encryption and servers with no limits or borders. I want to be from sunny old England. I don't know why I'm doing an English accent. I am English. Or on the Isle of Newburgh, wherever Jurassic Park's set, then you can. You can be a clever girl. But remember, you didn't say the magic word. I can't remember any other Jurassic Park quotes. Get NordVPN today. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For April, we're giving away a Hornet F7C Mark II, that latest medium fighter. It also comes with a lifetime insurance and a game package, so you can play Star Citizen, bam, just with that. It's all you need to play. And if you get involved with the Overdrive Initiative missions, you may be able to upgrade that to an F7A Mark II. Just comment on any of my videos made during the month to be in for a chance of winning that. Every video is effectively another chance to win. Thank you so much for watching until the end of the video, and thank you so much to the people that support the channel and go that extra mile with the join button under my videos, giving a little bit each month. They get some exclusive content and badges and help shape the channel a little bit, but also help allow us to make a video pretty much every day. There's also Patreon for people that are interested in that. Any of the affiliate links below my videos help support the channel, but so does commenting and liking and subscribing and sharing these videos too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the verse.